Hi guys, it's Mishel, Deception Bytes, and it is September 2nd, and it's 8:19 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, I am going to get us caught up with the Q posts, and I do realize that I am behind. The last post that I did was for August 30th. I am going to do August 31st now, and hopefully do another video including September 1st and 2nd. But I do want to explain to those that listen to me regularly. I have been having an issue lately with really, really low blood sugar, and it's not just straight hypoglycemia. It's not responding to anything, that would normally bring your blood sugar back up. So it makes me at times very, very confused and lethargic, and that's the way I was yesterday. So I did not want to record a video in that condition. So I feel better today, so I'm going to attempt, and I am trying to get this solved, working with doctors and nutritionists. But anyway, I'm going to push ahead here, and certainly not telling you that for sympathy, because you know what, I feel blessed that I know that there are people with really severe health issues. So I am certainly not complaining, but anyway, let's push ahead. All right, so this is the first post from the 31st, and he gives us a link to go out to, and then he says, Utah, what are the odds of that? Now, this is an odd little post, if you ask me, and I had to really think about this post for a while about what exactly Q was wanting to tell us. But I think I know now, because when you come to this website, it looks real enough, right? It says domestic surveillance directorate, defending our nation, securing the citizens, home, your data, surveillance techniques, our partners, Utah data center, jobs, leaks, about us. Well, the problem is this is a parody site. However, now who made this site and for what reason, I have no idea. But if you look closely at it, see right here, this is a parody of NSA.gov and has not been approved, endorsed, or authorized by the National Security Agency or any other U.S. government agency. Much of this content was derived from news, media, privacy groups, and government websites. Links to these sites are posted on the left sidebars of each page. Now, that's interesting because there's a lot of data on here, a lot. And there's more data on here than one would expect if one was just fooling around and making a parody site. Somebody has gone to an exorbitant amount of effort in order to do this website. I almost think it might be the Q group. I don't know. But apparently there really is a Utah data center. I don't know. Maybe some of you guys that live in Utah could either say yay or nay to that. Utah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful state. I love Utah. But anyway, you go here and let's just put in, let's say, I don't know, clowns. You get this error. Sorry, the page you're looking for could not be found. But then look at this. You do realize, of course, that based on our extensive domestic surveillance database, we can predict with 90% accuracy what you are looking for and why. Help us perfect our algorithms and click on your choice below. Now, that's kind of funny, really. But it wouldn't matter what you put in here. Let's put in Rumpelstiltskin. Rumpelstiltskin. See, you get the same thing. But there's a lot of information here. So it's interesting that Q led us here, because it's in no way associated with the government, unless the Q group did it. I don't know. But it's interesting anyway. Now, let's go back. So Q says, Utah, what are the odds of that? And I got thinking, why is he saying that? It's in Utah. What are the odds of that? Immediately I thought of Huber. And I thought, Huber, plus this whole, data center, and that's his jurisdiction. Okay, and that was my kind of way of thinking. But then I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. This is a parody site. So is there a data center in Utah, or is there not? I don't know. Maybe that site was made to throw people off track. Like, aha, this isn't the real site. I don't know. But this I got from The Great Awakening. Huber jurisdiction, let me elaborate. The first step in many lawsuits is an attempt to defend the suit by asserting that the court doesn't have jurisdiction. In other words, the suit was brought in the wrong court, or that the court lacks authority over the subject matter alleged in the suit. If the NSA data all passes through or terminates in Utah, a solid argument can be made that the federal court in Utah is the proper jurisdiction to try the case. I don't know. I really don't know about that. It's odd to me that Q sent us to a parody site. That's odd to me. Now, not doubting Q. I believe that he, she, they always have a reason for doing what they're doing. I just don't know yet what that reason is. And my feeling is that if this is something that's important for us to understand, Q will come back to it, as he usually does, because generally when the Anons miss it, then he comes back around, because I think that Q and the team are more concerned with us understanding than actually we are. You know what I mean? Because this is important to their mission. So it's important that those of us that are disseminating this information and spreading it and believing it or whatever and are behind POTUS, it's pretty pertinent that we understand. So it'll come back around at some point. That's my feeling. Now let's move on. Now, the next, Q says this, information comes in many forms, and he is alluding to this. Okay, so he's alluding to this. I mean, not alluding. He's referring to this that we just looked at, and he's saying information comes in many forms. Q. So when I read that, I'm thinking, okay, Q is saying, yeah, it's a parody site, but there's a lot of information on there, and that's what makes me think it may have come from the Q group itself, because they may have put that on there and said, oh, this is just a parody, but really it's on there to give us information. So that's my thinking at the time. You may have a different interpretation, and that is perfectly fine. But I put this underneath here by this anon as well, because it says Forbes, and then it says the definitive NSA parody site is actually informative, and it is. So that might be something that you'd want to go out and take a boo at when you have some free time and see for yourself. We don't have time to go through it all, but if that's something that you're interested in. Anyway, let's go on to the next one. And we've got this, and Q is referring to a post from August 30th, his own post, where he says, Washington Post, let me see. It's about, that the QAnon conspiracy movement is very unpopular. Our new poll finds and Trump's historic unpopularity is a big important story. Now, of course, we know that is both of those stories are fake news. We know that already, because we know, first of all, anybody that says that Trump is wildly unpopular is either not paying attention or may not be too swift, might not have both oars in the water, things like that. Because seriously, you really have to be blind to not see what's happening. But anyway, in response to that, Q gives us more. Let me see here. He gives us another story to peruse. 60% disapprove of Trump while clear majorities. Oh, I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. Unblock ads. No. Well, dang it. Dang it. You know, I really, he refers to Washington Post so much, I may have to get I just don't want to give them money. Let's see if we can read it this time. While clear majorities back Mueller and Sessions. Okay, so what they're saying is they, 60% disapprove of Trump, but, the majority approve of Mueller and Sessions. Yeah, right. Okay, whatever they think. They just make stuff up as they go. I'm really good at that. I've got a very good imagination. I don't, not when I'm talking about this stuff, but I do have a very good imagination because I'm a writer. And I'm thinking, I'd like to write for the Washington Post. I could make up some stuff. I could make up some stuff. But the problem is I have a really good imagination, but I also have morals. That's the problem. Yeah, it's those morals. They get in the way all the time. Okay, now it says Think Polls. Think Polls posted yesterday in the Washington Post. What are the odds of that? Notice any similarities? Sample. And here are the sample stories. And again, we're not going to go through all these because Q is just giving them as an example of, look, they're all writing the same stuff. And they're all saying the same thing. Trump approval rating, poll, Washington Post, HillReporter.com, disapproval rating soars in latest Washington Post ABC poll. CNBC, most Americans support Robert Mueller probe and Attorney General Jeff Sessions. And Axios.com, Jeff Sessions, Robert Mueller, Trump. The Hill, most Americans side with Sessions over Trump. Washington Times, more Americans support Jeff Sessions than Trump. Really? Maybe Jeff Sessions should be president then. I don't know. I mean, since he's so popular. I mean, wildly popular. Maybe Mueller and Sessions should just, go together and be president. It's never been done before, but that didn't stop Barack Obama. I mean, we've never had a first man either, but it's been done now. All right. All right, and what's this? Americans favor launching impeachment proceedings. Ooh, well, there you go. I think they have to have something to impeach him for, but hey, what do I know? Newsweek, Americans support Sessions, Mueller investigation poll finds. Ooh, ABC News, trouble, Trump disapproval high, 63, back Mueller. Rollcall.com, half of Americans support impeachment process against Trump. Oh, really? I don't know any. None of my friends do. I don't know. Let me see. What's this? Oh, top stories. 60% disapprove of Trump while clear majorities back Mueller and Sessions. And Real Politics, Real Clear Politics. Leave Jeff Sessions alone. Leave Jeff Sessions alone. Stop. Okay. Let me see. Newsvice.com, majority of Americans support Mueller and Sessions. And NBC News poll, disapproval Trump hits new high. Do you believe in coincidences? Why, no, I don't. Q. No, I mean, they're always writing the same things. And while I'm thinking about it, I got a couple, they weren't nasty comments at all. It was just that people had taken issue about what I had said about we don't need to know everything. Now, what I was talking about is not, okay, if somebody say you're hiding Jews in your basement and it's Nazi Germany. And are you going to tell people that? Do you want people to know? No. There are some things that could endanger other people. They could endanger our country. Those are the things that I say that we don't need to know, because it's not meant for us. Because if we knew, then the enemy knows, right? If it's being communicated to us, then the enemy can hear it as well. So there are things, politically and so forth in a country that you cannot disclose everything. You can't. Just like, okay, well, let's say you're the boss of a company and you fire some people. Do you really, want to tell everybody why people were fired? Like, I don't know. That's probably a really bad example. It is a really bad example. But I think you understand what I'm saying. I'm not just saying that we should just blindly trust Trump. But what I'm saying is we have trusted him to do a job. And so far, he's doing that job. So he has told us and that he wants transparency. And so far, everything he can be transparent about, he has been. So those things that he says, I'm sorry, this is a matter of national security, then I tend to believe that. And if it's going to endanger other people's lives, loose lips, sink ships. Anyway, okay, I'm going on now. I do understand why people took, umbrage with that, though. I really do, because I am the same way. I think, no, don't treat me like a child. I want to know. And it was probably the way that I worded it all as well. But anyway, I'm going to move on now. Okay, now, Q is making reference to this post that we just went over here, and now, he says, think Washington Post, QAnon yesterday, poll, POTUS today, poll, notice any similarities? Fake news readers, asleep, not attentive or alert, inactive, told to support Sessions? Every battle is won before it's ever fought. Are you awake? Q. Now, this is interesting because we know that Trump is, throwing all this garbage at Sessions so that the other side says, oh, Trump doesn't like Sessions. Oh, that means we need to like Sessions. Yeah, Sessions is doing a good job. Let's support Sessions. Sessions good, Trump bad. So that's what's happening. And then he's saying, look what's happening. Yesterday they put this poll out. Excuse me. Yesterday they put this poll out saying how, well, not yesterday, but whenever this was, we're a couple days behind. Put the poll out saying, the QAnon conspiracy is so unpopular. And then the next day, POTUS is so unpopular, and everybody loves Sessions and Mueller. Oh, Sessions and Mueller, they're our guys. So, and Q goes on and says, every battle's won before it's even ever fought. See? Now, when Sessions and or Mueller come out in support of Trump, it's going to be hard for them to backtrack all this, right? So, yeah, pretty smart. Trump and the Q team, they're on it. They are. Okay. Excuse me. Now, here, Q is referring to this post by an anon, and it says, 2 more prosecutors leave Mueller special counsel. One, a cyber crime expert, spokesperson says not due to political bias or wrongdoing. 2 more prosecutors leave Mueller special counsel, one specializing in cyber crimes per spokesman. I don't know why they wrote it exactly twice, but anyway. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Or maybe not. Sometimes I have to sweet talk the computer, buy it candy, wine and dine it, take it out for lunch. All right. 2 prosecutors leave Mueller's team, including an expert in cyber crimes. 2 prosecutors, including top computer crimes investigator, have departed special counsel Robert Mueller's team, investigating links between Trump associates and Russia, leaving Mueller with 15 attorneys on staff. The departures did not have to do with any allegations of wrongdoing or political bias, said a spokesman for the special counsel. It was notable when one of the prosecutors, Ryan Dickey, joined Mueller's team in November 2017 because he was the first prosecutor on the team known to specialize in cyber crimes. So it doesn't really say why they left. And look at this. Trump attacks backfire. Mueller Sessions enjoy broad support as 60% disapprove of president. Now, I think that's interesting because that's exactly why. Talk about your reverse psychology. That's exactly why he was attacking them in the first place. But they are not smart enough to understand that. So I really don't know why these guys left, but it's interesting that they did. And Q basically just acknowledges that. Doesn't add anything to it, just acknowledges that, yep, they're gone. Yep, that's right. So, not sure what that's about, but if we were supposed to know, I would imagine that Q would expand on it to some extent. Maybe they realized that what they were engaged in was not very tasteful. I don't know. One can only hope. Now, let me see. Here's the next one. And sorry that you have to look at Hillary here. I'm really sorry about that. I know. So we've got this. This was posted by Q, and this little picture here, Clinton, and this is endorsement by daily newspapers, Clinton against Trump, and it says all the papers that are supporting Clinton, which is like every paper and, probably everyone. And then Trump, MSNBC. Or maybe MSNBC is the one that's sponsoring this. I don't know. But here's all the daily newspaper. Well, MSNBC isn't a daily newspaper. Okay, yeah. So really, this came from MSNBC, and what they're saying is Clinton has all the daily newspapers, Trump, none. Nobody's endorsing poor Trump. Now, this was obviously back, before the election. And Q is saying, in reference to this, do you believe actual polls were conducted? Pre-election polls, Hillary Rodham Clinton favored 90 to 98%? Reconcile against results. Why is there emphasis put on polls? Define human nature. Well, and I think that there's a reason why he's saying that, define human nature, because literally, if you're getting ready to go out to the polls and everywhere on the news, you're seeing that, okay, the candidate that you're not voting for, the candidate that you're against, there's a 98% chance that they're going to win. Okay, you're seeing that and you're thinking, oh, do I really want to go out and put my coat on, get the car warmed up, and go and vote when it's really a done deal anyway? I mean, what's the point? That's why they did that. That's exactly why they did that. Because if you think there's no chance of your candidate winning, why make the effort? 99.9% of people think that way. So, it's like, would I run in the Boston Marathon knowing that I had well, I might just for fun, I couldn't. But anyway, what I'm saying is if you think there's no chance that your candidate's going to win, most people won't vote. But I think that it backfired on them this time. So the general psychological characteristics, feelings, and behavior traits of humankind regarded as shared by all humans. Point 1, fake news logic. If people believe the odds are hopeless, that's what I was just saying. If people believe the odds are hopeless, their candidate will win, do they still make the effort to vote? Well, most people no. Point 2, if people believe the odds are overwhelming, their candidate will win, do they still make the effort to vote? Does 1 cancel 2? Well, no, because if they think that their candidate's going to win, I do still think that they go out and vote. But if they think, oh, there's absolutely no way, he's only got a 2% chance of winning, forget it. Point 3, fake news logic. If people believe the majority of people feel a certain way about something, do they go with the majority to feel accepted? Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, most people, yes, that is human nature. If the majority of people believe something does not imply it must be right, if the majority of people believe something, does that imply it must be right? Well, in a lot of people's minds, yes. It doesn't. It doesn't. But that's how people get pulled into cults, because everyone around them seems fine with it. So they think, oh, it must be me. Must be me. And when they start questioning it, everybody around them keeps reassuring them, oh, no, you mustn't think like that. Da, da, da. And so they think, well, who am I? I mean, all these people can't be wrong. Must be me. That's how people think. Does this give rise to we are the majority mindset? Define echo chamber. Hang on here. Yeah, it does give rise to the we are the majority mindset. Define echo chamber. It's like, whatever they hear, they echo. A metaphorical description of a situation in which beliefs are amplified or reinforced by communication and repetition inside a closed system. Prior to new platforms, networks connecting people, did the old guard have full control? Did the old guard learn from this mistake, the 2016 election, and now tasking all new platforms, networks to censor? You better believe it. You better believe it. Because the old guard did have full control, absolute full control. And they've learned. That's why all of this censoring, that's why all of the networks are doing this. They are, full out. They've pulled out all the stops. They want control back because they know if they don't gain control back, it's not just they're losing their jobs. A lot of these people will go to prison. Some, maybe, perhaps the death penalty, I would assume. So, yeah, they're playing for keeps here. When you are awake, you can see clearly. Q. Yes, that's very true. So, let's go on. And Q says here, and I wasn't sure what he was talking about at first, but the next one is Q says, like clockwork, Q. And then Q responds to, let me see here, go up to the beginning of this. So Q makes reference to his own post that says like clockwork, because when he posted that, I was wondering, what does he mean by that? And then underneath, it has this by Victoria Tunsing. Shame on the Justice Department. Attorney General appointed at U.S. Attorney Huber 9 months ago to look into Uranium One and FISA false application. Huber has not interviewed ORS. Huber has interviewed my client. Huber has not interviewed my client, Doug Campbell, the FBI undercover informant for Uranium One. And that's what Q is saying, like clockwork. They're all saying, this about Huber now. They're all on the Huber, let's bash Huber. And then he's referring to this past post from August 30th. And we had gone through that about emotions cloud judgment. Why is Huber being discussed now? And, you know, talking about Huber did not directly interview Bruce Orr. He didn't do this, he didn't do that. Sessions didn't do this, didn't do that. And so Q down here is saying, like clockwork. That's what he's talking about. Yeah, it's all predictable. All predictable. And then the next one is, I'm just saying, I love these. If you have not seen Randy Quaid perform Trump tweets, then you are missing something special, because he does it. I don't know if he does every single tweet, but he does a lot. And I love it because he's got the most dramatic voice. And anyway, that's what this is. And I'm going to take you out so you can hear it. Now he's somebody that's had his own battle with the deep state. Hang on here.
CNN is working frantically to find their spine.
Let me see here. I'll start over.
CNN is working frantically to find their source. Look hard, because it doesn't exist. Whatever was left of CNN's credibility is now gone.
I don't know why. I love it because he's a very good actor, and he was really targeted by the deep state. And so somebody asked him, why are you performing, why are you doing these Trump tweets? And he said, because it's better than any Hollywood script could ever be. And he said, I've been blacklisted from acting, so I thought this is the best, script anybody could ever write. And so he performs Trump tweets. So what he was saying was actually a tweet by Trump. And they are hysterical. Now, I'm not so much for the flashing light bit, but gosh, I just love those. And then underneath, which has nothing to do with this, says both chambers, House, Senate, in session on Tuesday, Q. Monday, of course, being a holiday. So that is pretty self-explanatory. Now, let's go up to the next. And this is interesting. California bullet train project on track to blow through billions of more dollars. Now remember, Trump has withdrawn money from California because of the sanctuary cities. They are in need of money, and at one point Q linked that with the fires. Now California's biggest boondoggle just broke the bank. Hang on here. Not only is the massive high-speed rail project 11 years behind schedule and billions in the red, managers are now saying they need to ramp up spending to hit a 2033 deadline. California's money pit cost taxpayers $3.1 million a day last year, but that's small potatoes compared to what they'll have to shell out over the next 4 if they want to meet their deadline and budget. Estimated most recently at $100 billion in a report last month by the New York Times. Now let's go back, and Q says it's not funny, it's awful, because I do believe those fires are being caused by directed weaponry, and if you are not aware of what that is, you should make yourself aware. When you have some spare time, look it up. There's lots of stuff on YouTube about it. Really interesting stuff, but nobody can convince me that those fires are natural, because you're looking at a neighborhood, everything's burned, including the cars, but the trees are untouched. Now, how does that happen? Directed weaponry. Now, Q asks, does this mean more fires? Paul and Nancy Pelosi Charitable Foundation. Q. Now, Q is being a little bit tongue-in-cheek there, and we'll allow him that. Now, let's go up to the next one. And Q says, what about the budget? And we're not going to read this, but Gavin Newsom wants free health care for illegal immigrants if elected governor. Yeah, free health care for illegal immigrants. Illegal. Yeah, that's right. Illegal. Not legal. Yeah, the illegal kind of immigrants. Yeah, free health care. Yeah, I think that I should just, give up and just go climb over the border in Mexico, and hey, I could live in California, get free health care. I could poop in the street. Yeah. Well, I'm just saying. Maybe Nancy Pelosi would let me live there. I mean, she loves immigrants. She loves the illegal immigrants, not legal immigrants. Like, well, I'll just play illegal. I'll climb over the border, and I'll, get my free health care. Anyway, Fox News, California one step closer to expanding Medicaid for illegal immigrants. Illegal. This really irritates me. Ask me how much this irritates me. You want to make me really, really, really mad? Talk to me about illegal immigrants. I am an immigrant. I paid a lot of money to immigrate. I provided a lot of information, and this makes me furious. If you want to come to the country, come legally. Be properly vetted. I mean, I had to go through everything. They had to make sure that I had no criminal record, go through 10 years of tax receipts, make sure I wasn't going to be a burden on the American people. I had to go to a immigration doctor to make sure that everything was okay. I had no communicable diseases, and had to prove my mental health. So all of these things, I had to be properly vetted. And you know what? I'm all for that. Great. I hope that they vet the people coming into Canada as much as they vetted me going into the States. I really do. I know that they don't, but hey. And I think that, you want to come legally, you want to come and pay your taxes and contribute to society, wonderful. But no freebies. All right. So why would California elected officials knowingly collapse the budget? Who elects California officials? And then, you know who elects California officials? No, really. Do you really want to know who elects California officials? The illegal immigrants. That's where they all are. And look, Fox Business, California DMV allows illegals to vote. Hey. And Q says money to be made. Yeah, there's lots of money to be made on illegals. But here's the thing. You know what? I'm a legal resident. I've got a green card. I'm totally legal. However, I can't vote. I was told I can't vote. And yet, I'll tell you right now, I could go up to any polling station and vote, and not one person would ask me anything. And I know that to be a fact, because every single time I would be asked, have you registered to vote? No, I can't. Why can't you vote? I'm not supposed to vote. You can vote. No, I can't. Like, I'd have this argument over and over again with people. So I know that they don't care. I could have voted. I wanted to vote, but I did the right thing anyway. All right. Money to be made. Example. And then let me see. What's this? I don't think this is going to take me to where I want to be. Yes, it is. How American citizens finance $18.5 billion in healthcare for unauthorized immigrants. $18.5 billion. Wouldn't that pay for the wall? Just saying. I think it would. And you know what? I don't deny people health care. That's not the point. It's not the point. Whatever country you're in, they should be responsible for healthcare in some way, I guess. I don't know, but I know that if you're not from the United States, why should the United States pay your bills? Just like, it enrages people in Canada because people are coming over and getting on socialized medicine, which is absolutely stretched to the limit as it is, because you've got Canadian citizens dying before they can get in to see a specialist, and that is the truth. That is the truth. You go on a list, and if you're young, you go to the top of the list. If you're old, too bad, so sad. You've lived a good life. Bye-bye. Just saying. I've lived here. Well, my family's lived here forever. I lived in the States most of my life, but I was born in Canada. Anyway, let's go back. Big Pharma donates how much to California, New York elected officials? Compare versus other states. Why are California and New York vital areas of control? Think ports. Of course, it's the ports. That's where the illegals are coming into. Think legal protection. Q. All right. Now let's go on. Now that I'm all hyped up and I haven't even had any popsicles. Okay. And so making reference to his own post here, Q down below says, your vote counts. And it does. So please, please, please get out and vote in the midterms. If not, I'm going to hunt you all down. No, I will. No, I won't. Okay. Now, here is, that's right, it's an American flag. I know, you guys are sharp. You're just so sharp. Where we go one, we go all. We, the people, from sea to shining sea. Let freedom ring, patriots. It is your time. If America falls, the world falls. United, we stand. God bless you all. Q. Kind of makes me want to tear up a little bit. I miss the States so much. I want to go home. All right. So here is the next, and Q is making reference to this post by an Anon who shows this by Judicial Watch. Breaking in response to Judicial Watch's Freedom of Information lawsuit, DOJ admitted that the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court held no hearings on the FISA spy applications targeting Carter Page, a former Trump campaign advisor who was the subject of 4 FISA warrants. Well, surprise, surprise, we knew that already. And then this Anon says, where are the judges? They are compromised, I guess. Judicialwatch.org, press room. Okay, and he puts the where he got this, and then it says, if you bake it, he will crumb. Ha ha ha, so cute. All right, and this is where he got it from. This is the link here, which we're not going to go out and read because we're behind enough. And Q says, big, big, big Q. Yeah, because that is a big deal. It's a big deal. DOJ admits that the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court held no hearing on the FISA spy applications targeting Carter Page. That's a big, big freaking deal. All right, now, da-dum-dum, here's the next one. Now, let's go up to here. Da-dum-dum-dum, da-dum. Okay, you know what? I am going to break here because it's a very selfish reason that I'm not going to go into, okay? But I'm going to be right back because I'm going to finish these and then I'm going to go on to September 1st. So I will be back. Let me see. Should I go on to this one or not? Hang on here. Well, let's do this one. Change of the FISA court. He should direct the presiding judge, Rosemary Collier, to hold a hearing, haul all of these people from the DOJ and FBI in there, and if she finds there were crimes committed, and there were, there should be a criminal referral by her. And then below, Trump says, and Q is making reference to these tweets by Trump, or told the FBI if the fake dossier wasn't true, it was a lie, and the FBI was determined to use it anyway to damage Trump and to perpetrate a fraud on the court to spy on the Trump campaign. This is fraud on the court. The Chief Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court is in, and it ends. Now, and then again, he reiterates, big, 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 big Q. Now, yeah, I'm going to stop right here. So I'm going to pick up on the last couple of posts from the 31st and cover the first in the next video. Okay, and I am going to do that tonight, so I will be back. Just like I'll be hanging around here like a bad smell. So anyway, thank you for listening, and I will talk to you guys soon.